Alright, how we doing, folks? Your boy, Monkeys on 265 numbers after the name, a little Call of Duty World War II. Y'all already know how it is, which I don't really know how it's being received right now. You know, this game started off pretty interesting, and I'm hoping to play over here. I'm recording this on Saturday, double XP weekend. I haven't had an opportunity to play, but hopefully I can play at some point. But honestly, I've been playing the campaign since I got the Xbox One X earlier this week, so I haven't even touched multiplayer maybe in 4 or 5 days, which has kind of been a blessing for what I've been understanding. Because it is apparently like glitch city and ish not working city, man. I mean, the headquarters, right? We all started off over there together that first couple days. And everybody was rah-rah. It was all cool. Watching these supply drops, commend you here, complete these contracts. Now, you're by yourself. Like, that's it. Or if you're in a party, I believe your party like members still show up there. At least that's when I play with Cabinet did. But that's it. That's like the last thing like we see on like that regard. And I'm like, alright, and that one made sense, right? Because they were having server issues. This is where it all stems from. The connection just isn't good currently right now in Call of Duty World War II. Which, when you boil it down to like that point, that's a big problem. And the game is getting, I think, a little bit of a pass so far because of how good it is and how much we all like it and want to like it. But it's an issue when your online multiplayer game can't play well online. Like, that's just intrinsically like a huge problem, and that's where we're kind of at right now. So they removed people from being in the headquarters because that was just stressing out the servers too much, which makes sense, right? You know, you had this whole new social feature, ton of people come in there, they weren't ready to handle it with a server load, they wanted to improve the gameplay, and you know, we'll worry about that later. Fair enough, good enough concession. Once again, I spoke about this a little bit last week. There is the argument of, you guys added all these features, you guys should have known the stress law on your servers. What the hell was the point of the beta if not to test the servers? And maybe they did test them in the beta and there's just a lot more people since then. I'm not sure. I'm not on the technical side over there in Activision and Sledgehammer. I believe this kind of falls a little more in Activision's jurisdiction over Sledgehammer, but not 100% sure of the division in terms of how to handle server load and how to handle the whole online components of that. I think it kind of goes a little more through Activision. They kind of have the dedicated servers and all that set up, not necessarily Sledgehammer, but I don't know the whole back scenes. And I don't know whether they tested it to the point where they said we're comfortable or whether they launched the game knowing that it was going to be like this. If they did that, that's pretty shitty. Like, I mean, that's pretty crappy. You don't really want to do that. But I guess in a game like Call of Duty, right, you kind of can't postpone it. Like, there is no, you know what, man, we're going to launch it 2 weeks later, man, because, like, you know, we worried about the servers. I think the reaction around that from people would be like, all right, like that's fair. I think we've bummed out because we all wanted to play it, but I think everyone would understand that. I think more from their side financially, that's 2 weeks of like revenue that isn't being put there, and 2 weeks of people buying the game before like Black Friday and buying the game, you know, and pushing back maybe DLCs and stuff like that, and kind of throwing off the whole calendar year almost because of that. So I think that's kind of where, even if the game was in that situation, Activision would release it anyway. The latest, at least from what I've heard going on with what's going on this weekend, is people just, so they killed off the dedicated servers. I'm not sure, maybe at the point of this video, this comes out on Tuesday, those will be back. But at this point, they killed off the dedicated servers. So that's kind of, you know, pretty crappy, because now you're playing on peer-to-peer. Like, I think the tweet kind of says, like, be ready, or, you know, you might see host migrations. And I was like, damn, I was like, host migrations, say word, yo. It's been a minute. Where y'all been at, host migrations? Like, yo, how y'all been, man? I didn't even know y'all were a thing still. Everything good? How the family? How the kids? Yo, how's the lag? You know, how's your cousin Lag doing? I mean, it's, you see that and you're like, damn, like, what year are we in, man? And I guess they're just working on more improvements on the back end. That's why they needed to kill the dedicated servers. I didn't really get that one fully. It's just like, hey man, play peer-to-peer. We're screwed over here. Best of luck. Like, I think you'd kind of leave the dedicated servers and kind of work around or add more or something like that. But once again, I'm not a technical guru. The point of this video is kind of, how are we supposed to react? And, you know, that's up for every individual to have. I'm sure a lot of people are angry. And I think rightfully so. You purchase the product for $60, you expect it to work, and it doesn't work. That's pretty shitty. There's no doubt about that. It's worked out all right for me, honestly, because I've just been busy, so I haven't had really a lot of time to invest in it. And this week, for example, I just started playing the campaign, like I mentioned. So I'm kind of invested a little more on that. Once I end the campaign, obviously, I'm going to go right back into multiplayer, and I hope that that's working. I don't feel like I've had too many connection issues. I'm not 100% sure though. My experiences so far, I've kind of put in like 2 marathon sessions in the game. Like that's kind of like I put in like 2 like 10-hour sessions or something like that, or 2 like a 10-hour and a 7-hour. That's kind of like how I've played. So I haven't really played day in and day out to give you guys a, you know, hey, on Tuesday it works like this, but on Wednesday I felt this. No, it was more just 2 long sessions, and the first one was a Saturday after release, and the game felt okay, or what I thought to be okay. There was still some like lag kind of sometimes at the end of games and stuff. Sometimes you get kicked out and stuff like that, but it wasn't anything too crazy. And then I played a little bit with the captain, and I played a little bit more like that night by myself, and at that point, like, I was really struggling because I just wasn't doing good in the game, and I was kind of confused as to what was going on or not, and I was getting outbeat by a lot of gunfights. And then later on night, I was actually on the flip side. I was kicking ass, and I was like, I don't know, maybe I just found something, a different class. I was like, I don't know, maybe. But the more I think about it, I think I was just probably on like some crappy servers in like the first part of it, and I got on some better servers, and those bullets actually started counting, and I started killing people. So it really is gut wrenching for a game like this when you don't have the trust in what you're playing in. You know, when you kind of play a online shooter. In this case, you know, there's 12 people on the map. You're kind of trusting that everybody's on the same playing field, right? Like we all have. It goes back to intrinsically what the supply drop issue is, that there's somebody who has a leg up on you. And in this case, we're talking about a leg up connection-wise. Like in theory, we all are playing on the same field, the same connection. And if my bullet hits you first, that should count first. And if your bullet hits me, it hits me. And we haven't really fully had too many crazy connection issues lately. I believe Modern Warfare Remastered to me felt pretty smooth. I didn't really play it from over, so I don't know about that. Black Ops 3 played pretty smooth. So it's a little bit strange for me, and I don't remember too many issues with Advanced Warfare either. So it's a little bit strange to me that we're running into these basic connection issues, which feel like Call of Duty issues from 2009 and 10. I'm not 100% sure where we're at with this. I hope it gets fixed soon.